you make a fucking valid point. Like people are just you just don't know who to trust. I think that's the biggest issue. I don't think
Yeah.
trust issues is the issue. I think not knowing who to trust or
Grimy people are
Yeah,
the issue.
yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite show yet again.
Yes, sir.
Here are the boys. My name is
Wow.
JG,
My name is Edwin Sarti.
And I'm just fat.
and we're back here on another early Saturday morning recording.
We were super late.
Yeah, we're
If
really
the
late
coffee
today.
doesn't say
Supposed to
that.
be we were supposed to start at 7, but it's 8:25 now Pacific time. Close enough.
Yeah,
So
honestly, I mean, we tried to do earlier, but hey, man, we here. We got
Life.
our coffee.
you know what? Next time I'm gonna say 6, so we'll be here at 7.
Honestly, so next time I don't think we should record early, but I'm
Next time
honestly
we should
tired
say
as hell.
yesterday, so we do it tomorrow. I don't know.
But before we get started today, we still want to give a shout out to everybody
Thank
supporting us,
you. Thank you.
rocking with the movement, giving
Thank
us
you for
advice,
making us rich.
giving us
Cap.
damn, huh, for real. Hey,
Thanks for
share it.
$17 that we've
Share
gotten
it,
so
bro.
far.
Hey, honestly, I was looking at the statistics of it and all the
Yeah.
countries and stuff. Hey, bro, there's a lot of people that mess with us.
I know.
It's like
What are we at
3%,
now?
3% of our listeners are like French.
I know.
We
I
live
was like,
Uzi.
ooh,
Man.
word.
Le
Te-
baguette.
te, something.
I think we have like 12 or 13 countries now. We started like with 2
We
or
started
3.
2, yeah. It was in Mexico here in Canada. No, I don't know. It's Canada. I forgot what other one it was. But now we're like in
France.
France. We're like in India. We're like damn,
Colombia,
yeah,
like
Ecuador.
like
Yeah.
y'all listen to us. Like y'all
Y'all out there?
understand?
Hey, shout out to every one of you guys.
Yes.
Si no entienden, muchísimas gracias.
At
Se
least
lo
they know that part.
agradecemos.
That's it.
We should do a whole episode in Spanish.
I'd be
Oh,
Just so
down,
people
bro.
can clown a little
Yeah,
bit.
huh?
Yeah.
What's up? You quieres empezar, Jefe?
Órale.
No.
¿Qué hubo? Hey, so,
Aquí
what the
andamos.
fuck was I saying?
Saludos.
Saludos
the-
a todos los compas de Jalisco, los de Michoacán,
Oh.
los de Monterrey, bueno,
Hey,
todo
Monterrey,
México,
yeah.
Colombia.
You know what we should
everybody.
do? Like
a todo alrededor del mundo.
we should do like the
Saludos.
Kevin
Todos
Hart,
locotes.
like kind of the Kevin Hart. Buenos dias, noches, grande.
Yeah.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Nah, but for
All
real,
right,
you
let's get
know,
to it.
honestly, shout out to everybody. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you guys haven't done so, like, subscribe, share, tell your mama, her brother, her sister, her Sancho.
Introducing now all
You know,
the sides.
everybody.
All the coleslaws, the
all the-
sides.
Yeah.
The
the
gumas.
entrees,
The
yeah.
entrees.
Anybody and everybody. Let them know. Let them know we appreciate them. And hey, man, maybe this advice might work for them. Who knows? But
Yes.
on today's episode, Edwin. Now, you know what? I felt we talked too much. Jafet, what are we
Jafet.
going to talk about today, Jafet?
So today we're going to talk about the biggest
Dun, dun,
hindrance
dun, dun.
to relationships,
Or as a whole.
or as a whole,
Yeah.
trust issues.
Dun, 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 dun. This is where we'd roll the intro, but we're doing something different. So why don't we just get into it, Edwin?
Let's do it.
No kidding though. Like when it comes to trust issues, I mean, I think everybody can relate to this, and I don't care what field of expertise or
To some
money or
degree,
whatever. To some degree, like
Yeah.
trust is just out there, you know, whether it's in business or whatever. So, kind of when we talk about trust issues today, we're pretty much gonna talk about like why it is a big deal in life, you know. And then one of the very first thing I really want to discuss is like when it comes to trust issues, you know, it's like ultimately who does it really affect?
Ooh.
Because it's one of those things like what does it cause? Because like let's say for me I get screwed over in a relationship in the past, but even though I have my guard up, who is it really putting a stress on?
I think we should just start with where it stems from before we get into that.
Go ahead.
You know, I personally think, like we were mentioning earlier, like Jafet was saying, it stems from like your early childhood. Maybe your parents created those trust issues. Like one big thing of
Yeah.
my like trust issues that I have is that like lying. Once you lie, it's a wrap. Like I just hate lying. Like
White lies and everything?
white lies, like,
Everything.
To
Really?
me, it's because the thing with me is like I observe little things a lot. Like I listen when you don't think I'm listening. So I pay attention to the little details. whether that's verbal or visual. You know?
Once you catch someone in a lie,
Yeah, it's like, what else are you lying about? To me,
Yeah.
it's kind of like if you could lie about something so simple like that, like what makes me think you're not lying about something more complex?
and if they're good at it
Mm.
too,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
have to do extra work to catch them. You're like, damn, you're good. So what the fuck else is
Hey,
going
What is
on?
that
Exactly.
called? Where you're consistently lying? Compulsive liar? What is it?
Compulsive liar.
Yeah,
It's
something
a different
else.
word. I know what you're saying, but
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
think about
Somebody
it.
say it out there.
It's too early right now,
It's
but
too early.
I think my trust issues stem from that, or like people getting my hopes up, and it's kind of like, nah, like I'm more of a believer of actions now.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, and you know what? That's funny because I'm kind of the same way. Because growing up, I went to like 6 different elementaries. Like no, I'm like
Shit.
dead ass. Like in Anaheim, I went to 6 different elementaries.
Shout out to all
I
your
went
elementary
to
schools.
I went to 2 different middle schools, and I was blessed to be in one high school. So I really
Nice.
ultimately didn't start making friendships until high school.
That must have been
So
tough, bro.
I mean, yes, in the beginning and in my elementary years, but I didn't care once I got to high school.
Mm,
Because I already had that
makes sense.
mindset. Because
Yeah.
like I really did go to like 6 different elementaries, and then I would build bonds with friends, and I would leave that school. So then after
Oh,
that,
know
I
what
was
you
like,
mean. Yeah.
shit.
Like,
After
why are you gonna build friendships
so
with
like,
other
what's the
people if it's
point? Like
temporary? Yeah.
I guess for me at a very early young age, I just started making acquaintances, not friends.
Nice.
So I was like, you know what? I'll get to know you. That's cool, but that's as far as I'll go. So I guess I carried that on into my older days or my older life, but whatever. And then ultimately, I don't know. Eventually, I grew out of it because I started understanding. I'm like, huh, that was just my issues back then, and now I feel like I can start developing friendships and like
Yeah.
acquaintances that really do matter. But I still have my limit.
Yeah.
It's like
I get what you're saying.
I like to me now. Like I look at somebody, and then because there's some people who just call you a friend after they met you after 2 days, and I'm
Or
like,
like in elementary,
I'm like,
like, oh my
no,
god,
shut
best
up.
friend, best friend.
And I'm like,
Like,
like
the
right
fuck?
now, there's people that I've met for like a week. They're like, oh yeah, I'm my friend. I'm like, bro, I just barely met you.
Yeah.
Like you ain't my friend if I haven't, yeah.
Relax.
Like I don't do that anymore. Like I really takes me a while to call you my friend.
I forgot what comedian said it. There's a comedian that said, "Los amigos verdaderos se cuentan con los huevos y te sobra uno."
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
I was like, damn.
that man's hurt, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get it.
It's
Yeah.
true though, because I mean, you just can't really trust many people. I feel like, especially nowadays, like I
Yeah.
don't know, bro. It's tough out there. I don't even trust myself. Jafar earlier was like, I
I
don't
still
even trust
count my money.
shadow,
Bro.
I mean, for me, I still count my money after the ATM, making sure you think I'm gonna
Making sure
trust
I
you.
don't play
Like,
myself.
nah.
Punk ass robot. You better not be
Yeah.
cheating. I'll come back with the bat.
I know, but no,
But
I think ultimately for me, yeah, like I stop honestly, like friends is it's a really hard word for me to throw out.
mm,
Like most of the times, like and so, like because like coworkers, a lot of people will say, oh yeah, I got a friend of mine. I'm like I say I have a coworker of mine. I got a buddy of
a
mine.
colleague.
I have a colleague. Like I don't use the word friend a lot.
There's this human I know.
So would you say your trust issues stem from your childhood?
Yes and no. I think now I've started to realize what friendship actually means and what trust is. So
Mm,
now I know where that direction is going. Like if somebody is a connection to mine, I know right off the bat, you're just a connection. That's it. That's all you're gonna be. Like if I've known you for a hot minute, okay, you're my friend. If you're my coworker, you're my coworker, not my friend. So
mm.
I really don't push it. Like now,
So
if
you're
I
just saying
start,
about like trust issues in your relationships, like friendships type
yeah,
shit? Okay.
I just really keep it close. That's it.
That's your
Like.
main trust issue.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Yeah. If I have trust issues, it's literally within like my circle,
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
hands reach. It's not like I have trust issues. Like no, that's like it's not worth my time because it's like
To your close
it's too many.
proximity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Makes sense.
So.
Jafet?
I think I have really bad trust issues. Like I don't think I know, but I try to like correct it when I should and allow it to work because it allows me to survive. You know,
Facts.
because like I trust my friends. I have a lot of people I know, a few that I call friends, but I'm not gonna like blame them for the shit I got going on. So like I give them a certain amount of trust. But again, if there's sensitive information that I shouldn't be sharing with anyone but myself, because that prevents me from getting like in trouble per se, I'm not gonna go out and tell a bunch of people. So now I gotta worry about all those loose ends.
Facts.
So like,
Facts.
I know I have trust issues because I
Yeah.
think that way, but it's like it prevents me from ending up hurt. So I guess it's just a
What's
a
the root of
protective
that though?
method. Um,
What
I,
started that, bro?
bro, life has taught me not to trust even like blood.
Ooh, I think that's
Mm.
a big one too. I think we should
Yeah.
mention that.
Yeah, cause even from when you're little and you're building friendships with like family members like cousins or like even uncles, aunts, and
Aunts,
they do some grimy shit,
relatives,
it teaches you that if they're supposed to be the ones that love you
anyone could do it.
and they're doing you dirty, that means all these other people on the outside circles that don't give a like a flying fuck about you might do the same.
Mm.
But maybe that's just my jaded ass view.
Was that from an early perspective, or do you mean like
Early,
like
yeah, yeah.
teens and shit?
No, I mean it before that.
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy.
I've had it like rough, I guess you could say, but it's allowed me to learn all these like little things about the way humans like interact with each other. I'm like, all right, just gotta be careful around certain types of
Certain
energies.
individuals.
Yeah, just be like, all right.
Makes
I'm like,
sense.
I'm not blaming them. I don't feel like they're necessarily bad people. They're just doing human shit.
Yeah,
Mm.
self interest and shit.
I'm
Like
just like,
that.
hey, I get it, but get the fuck from me.
It's one of those that saying, "I understand, but I don't approve."
There you go. You know,
Yeah,
like I understand. I don't respect, but I understand.
I
that's
think
crazy.
I think for me personally, it's when it comes to personal relationships, those are the only ones I can call trust. Everything else I can say I depend on. Kind of like my coworkers, like, okay, I depend on you to go help me out with that. But like I don't trust you to go do that. Like I guess it ties like hand in hand, but I think depend is more like on a professional level compared
Mhm.
to trust is like a personal level to
Yeah,
me.
because I believe there's a lot of trust issues within the work field too.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck
what do you
yeah.
guys think?
Oh, bro, we could just start off on
Yeah, that's.
leadership.
I
You
mean,
can no fuck that. Like
honestly, let me start off by that because I had an old job.
Hold on.
I
We
don't.
never went to your trust issues where they stemmed from.
Well, I
yeah,
mentioned it
you did.
briefly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mentioned it briefly because I said at a young age, like I was always lied to. Not necessarily lied to, but I was always given false hope. Like, oh, I'll do this next week or I'll do this next time, and then I would be the type. I mean, little kids remember everything.
Family?
Yeah, family wise.
Okay.
Yeah, family wise, and then throughout life, like I started realizing people like will let you down. Like
Mm.
people lie, white lies came about in personal and
But you really
professional, recreational
do you really
relationships.
do like the white lies too? Like it really because I know I
It
said
doesn't
it.
irritate me. It doesn't irritate me a lot. It just kind of gives me an idea of what you're fucking with or what you're rocking
Well, it's
with.
kind of like the foreshadowing of that
Yeah,
person. Like,
because
I
to
see
me
how
it's
you
kind of
are.
like honestly, I feel like I'm really blunt, too blunt sometimes. I've been told, but
Hmm.
it's kind of like yo, I
But
just
that's
keep it
good.
100.
Yeah.
Like I
Keep it a buck.
like I've always been told like I'm a sensitive ass motherfucker. I know I am, but
Mm,
I would rather hurt your feelings. But I don't think that's a bad thing. You
Yeah, and
know?
I
no.
don't fuck with the idea of white lies because it's like, all right, you could just choose to omit information rather than fucking twist it. Now
Yeah.
you're going the extra step to bend the information to make it a lie. It's
And I
like,
think
why?
it would bug me a lot more because I would do that shit too. So I would do that and then I'd hate it when people would do it to me. But
Mm.
once I stopped doing it and I realized like a lot of people do that shit, it's kind of like nah, I can't be preventing what I'm projecting,
Do you
So
actually call out people with like white lies?
I do. I have that bad habit.
I know. I see. I don't think. I personally, I don't think that's a bad habit. I do it off the bat to let them know that I don't fuck
Hey,
around with
I
that
heard
shit.
that. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
I know
because
what
like
you mean.
there's even at work because we were just transitioning over to work. Um, like at work, I would hear some shit. I would immediately walk over. I was like, "Yo, I heard you said this. Is that true? Like, let me know right now."
Fucking guy.
And then I'm not saying like in a rude way. It's just like me personally, like I when it comes to work, it's just work at times, like especially right now, it's a very competitive like location right now just because of
Mm,
the pandemic. Everybody wants their job and everybody wants more hours and stuff like that. So like right now, currently, it's a big thing like trust. It's like, oh well, this
yeah.
person didn't do that, and like there's a lot of sellouts right now when it comes to work because people are needing jobs and all that stuff. So they're willing to do anything they need to do to keep their
Of
jobs.
course.
So when
That's
I
in every
hear like
human.
white lies, I off the bat like say, hey, I heard that you said this about me. Is this true? Oh, that's not true. All right, come here. And then I call the person that I heard this from, like, yo, come here. He said this. Is this true? Yes or no?
Yeah,
And at
facts.
this point, they understand, like, yo, I don't play these games. And when it comes to like, because again, I don't trust you. I depend on you. But it's like, look, we're all teammates here.
Yeah.
If I can't trust, like, if I can't trust
We
you or I
can't be a
can't depend
team.
on you, we can't be a team.
Facts.
And so it's just, to me, it's just like work. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
we
I
can talk
mean,
about work and
well,
toxicity,
I
but
mean, yeah, we're gonna dig into work right now, but I think just white lies is just
yeah,
it's kind of like a stepping stone to like bigger things, you know.
yeah,
Where do you draw the line?
Not necessarily implying that people will do more shady shit, become bigger liars, but it's kind of just like, what's the point of it in my eyes?
mm,
There's no need for that. Like, what's the point of lying? Like, I mean, I understand for surprises, stuff like that.
right,
You know,
right,
it's
right.
understandable in certain aspects, but to me, it's kind of like, I mean, there's no need for that. You know, but
I mean, I
time.
wouldn't say there's no need to like say a white lie. Sometimes I
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's instances like surprises
But
or
you could
like, you
just
know.
choose not to say anything.
Exactly.
okay.
There's
I
a
see what you
difference
mean. I
between it.
see what you
And even
mean.
that shady. I think that's pretty shady because
Yeah,
you
You
know,
got
definitely.
you're
trust
not
issues left and right, man.
hey focused. I mean, I only talk of my experience. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had, like I said, I had the bad habit of saying white lies, but then when I realized I didn't say white lies, I realized I wasn't saying the whole truth. And
Mm,
what's worse, you know? But that's
yeah.
a whole nother topic, ladies and gentlemen. You know. But back to the
Yeah.
professional work issues. I wanted to point this out because my little brother is going through a little work dilemma. I don't mean to put his business on blast, but this just goes to show the trust issues at work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my brother's been trying to branch out and go in different directions, trying to develop, trying to excel, whatever, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Um, his boss kept him from leaving and branching out to do his own thing because my brother's good at his store.
Okay.
So kind of like, I need you here. Like, I don't want you to go do better. Like, he couldn't be trusted.
Stunting growth.
Yeah, and he didn't
Yeah.
want to tell his boss about him branching out until he got the other position and stuff like that. And somehow his boss found out, and his boss blocked him from moving out. And it's kind of like the trust issues come from that because it's like, yo, like, how am I supposed to trust you? Like, you're telling me one thing, you're saying you're my boss, you want what's best for me, but then you're not letting me be the
Yeah.
best,
And then
even at work.
I think when it comes to that, in the workplace, didn't you finish your coffee already? Okay. Anyways,
I drink a whole pot a day.
so like when it comes to that, like I really do emphasize the difference between a boss and a leader, and like how you said, what your brother's going through, that's definitely a boss.
Yeah, not a
But when it
leader.
comes to a leadership will take full responsibility if a person um, is doing great or doing shitty. They take that full responsibility, and then they also accept, like a good leader will also accept if a team is doing good or like
Yeah,
a
yeah, I know
team
what you
is
mean.
going
Mhm.
down. So it's like one thing that people need to understand when it comes to workplace, and then they can carry on. Like hopefully, I really hope that like a lot of like bosses or a lot of like anybody in management is listening right now. Like please start being a leader and not a boss, because more people tend to grow with leaders and just excel at work and like in
Yeah.
general because
Well,
the trust is there.
well, I know where you're headed with that, but I'm saying like the trust, like the I'm specifically saying that job because I was a manager at that job.
Mm,
So we're supposed to create that trust and say, hey, we want what's best for you, but we
yeah.
really don't. Like,
Mm,
we get raises, we get promotions based off the people we promote.
no
So they're
kidding.
trusting us to think that, hey, you're gonna do great. You're gonna be amazing performer here anywhere you go. But it's like, no, you're not, because you're not going anywhere until, like, I'm only using you for my benefit. So you can't be trusted. I can't be trusted as a manager.
Wait, I'm confused because you said that managers get raises for
Yeah,
the
like,
people that
so
you
let's say like, you want to promote,
right,
get.
right.
So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna do great, but I'm only promoting you to make myself look good,
But then
not because you're
why?
good.
So then why is your brother limited if it could benefit the other person?
Because the manager at the store needs the store to do good, and my brother's one of the top performers. So if my brother were to leave,
They would go to shit.
exactly.
Okay, I
Not
see.
necessarily saying he's the best, not to get too cocky, my boy, but he's one of the top
If he
performers
if
there.
he's not being able to leave, then
There's a
he's
reason why he's
upholding
not,
that store.
and he kind of has been having those trust issues at work with, like, he doesn't even know who to talk to anymore about how he feels about his work environment, stuff like that. So it's kind of a toxic ass environment for him right now.
There's a
But what
lot
if
of
it's
work
like perspective
snitches.
though?
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of work snitches.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
yeah, bro. I'm dealing with work snitches personally, like
Yeah.
people ratting us out for like doing like little small bullshit. I guess I don't know what you want to call it, but to me it's kind of like, yo, like, do your job. What's
Yeah.
it to you? But you realize I can't trust nobody at work. I realized that when I first started too, because people would try to get me in and try to like have me talk bad about other people and this and that. I'm like, nah,
Mm-mm.
you can't feed into that shit because people will try to get you to drown with them, but you shouldn't.
And then you're so solid, and someone asks you if you said this, you're like, yeah, I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
But now you're in trouble because of what you said.
Yeah, but even then, like I make sure what I say is neutral in
Mhm.
every aspect,
And that's hard.
and it's really hard to
Really
do. Don't get
hard.
me, because you have obviously everyone has their own opinions,
Yeah.
but you have to be careful with how you say it.
Because
you know?
even going by the book sometimes it does not
Nah,
work
it's
in your
not
favor.
legit. Nah, because a lot of people don't go by the book, so
Yeah.
not going by the book is kind of normalized.
Yeah.
And then when you go by the book, it's like
Now you're the problem.
yeah,
Exactly. And that's
It's hard.
and I can see why trust issues really occur at the workplace because again, there's been times where, like me personally, one time I had the first time I used to work at actually Benihana's, fuck you. Um so
It's a bomb.
one time I was working, right? And again, I was a bartender at one time there.
Yeah,
And then I don't know if I mentioned this story before, but like there was that one time where a guest came in and they had invalid ID.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that.
I had an
Yeah,
invalid ID.
yeah.
And then
Your
the
boss
guy
said to do
shows
it.
it. Hold on, hold on. Let me say the
Oh,
story.
sorry,
Let me,
hold
so,
on.
let me say
For
the
those
story
that
for the
did- haven't
viewers.
heard
New
it.
viewers.
Killer. So basically, I had this person comes in with the invalid ID, and he says, "Oh, okay, I want a drink." I'm like, "I'm sorry, your ID is expired. It's been like a year since your ID has been expired. Do you have a valid one?" He goes, "No, but I'm clearly over the age." I'm like, "I understand, but there's a reason why people don't have valid IDs." I was like, "Can I get a valid ID?" And then he goes, "No, I don't." And then he goes, "All right, well, let me speak to your manager." I was like, "Nah, not a problem." And I had no. And then again, it
No
literally says in the
malintentions,
law, in order for you
yeah.
to buy alcohol, you must have a valid ID, not an ID, a valid ID. So, and then I told my boss, "Hey, someone over here wants to buy alcohol." I already told him that he can't because he doesn't have a valid ID. He goes, "Okay, no problem. Go buy. I'll go buy right now." He goes, and then he talks to the customer, and he gets it to him anyways. So then at that point, I'm doing my job. Again, sometimes
Yeah.
going by the book doesn't work in your
No.
favor. And then when I do my job correctly, he ends up giving it. The guy's looking at me like, "Ha, I win." So that makes me look bad. This fool
Yeah.
ends up getting hella drunk. He ends up getting in trouble, gets caught by the police, and then my boss ends up getting in trouble, but puts the blame on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's
"No, no, no,
fucking
no."
shady.
I said I didn't want to serve him, and I had to write a statement and everything. And
Yeah.
at that point, me and my boss had the biggest, I guess,
Beef.
trust issues or beef for the longest time.
Yeah, because you can't trust him no
You
more.
just can't trust
his
him. Like
word.
it's
You
like
can't do
little
shit.
stupid shit like that really makes like work very, very toxic
Yeah.
because it's like you want to do your job right, but like you said, sometimes going by the book doesn't go in your favor
Nah.
because nobody goes by
And
the
you,
book.
and you can't trust anybody, because I was in a situation one time at my old job where my boss would be like, clock out on your phone, like go home, clock out on your phone, call it a day,
Jeez.
you know. And now people are getting in trouble for doing that, and my boss is nowhere to be found. Like my boss was just MIA. Like, no, I didn't say nothing. Like, you're supposed to do
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
me.
It's,
You know how
yeah.
bad my trust issues are? So I got a little gift from my boss in one of my jobs. I'm not gonna say which one, but I get a little gift. And I thanked them for the gift through text just so I can have that proof. I screenshot of
just
that
in
bitch
case.
just in case
Yeah.
the higher ups would be like, "Hey, what's up with this?" And then he
Try to-
throws me under the bus.
yeah,
I'll be like, "Hey,
smart.
it's right here. I
Yeah,
got
man.
receipts."
One thing I've been working on at work a lot, that you mentioned that,
Mm.
is covering my paper trail. Like making sure there's a
Yes.
paper trail
Yes.
for everything that I do
Everything.
and everything that I say. Because like you make a fucking valid point. Like people are just you just don't know who to trust. I think that's the biggest issue. I don't think
Yeah.
trust issues is the issue. I think not knowing who to trust, or
Grimy people
Yeah.
are the issue.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think that's the first and foremost. Like
Yeah.
I know. Honestly, like another example, and then honestly, I think this is the reason why so many people fucking quit is because literally you just don't know what to expect. And I think paper trail is one of the most important things out there, because like even at my work field, it's so obviously I work at a restaurant.
Mhm.
There's bound to be something that you void because something was like
Happened,
something happened. Like it's literally inevitable. Like let's just say you accidentally put in an extra drink or whatever. So now at my workplace, that if you void one of those things, it's an automatic write up. And it's like if I accidentally put 4 drinks instead of 3 drinks for a party of 3, that's a write up. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm like, yo, how does this even make sense? Like I get it if like I took them all off and I made profit because I was stealing.
Yeah.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like if it was like 3 and I took off 2, okay, I get
Yeah,
it. That's how I
makes
see it.
sense.
I see it sketchy. But if it's like I accidentally put like 4 drinks for a party of 3 and I took out one, you can logically think, but they don't
They
see
don't
that.
even try to see it.
So stupid shit like that, you start wondering, it's like, damn, does this company really like care about their employees? Most of them don't.
No.
No,
But
no, they don't. Hell
but
no.
in all
No.
reality, it's like you just don't know who to trust anymore. So this is why you really like paper trail is one of those things. So it's like that's
Yeah.
why work is such a toxic place sometimes. So
It can be. It can
it
be.
can be. But
Trust
let's see.
issues everywhere.
But see that this is why so many people quit. Some people just want to make an honest living, do what they got to do, get their paper and get out. But sometimes it's just not that easy at times.
I think that's what I do. I try to focus on that. Just go do what I need to do and just go home. Like, don't
Mhm.
try to get too involved. Don't, you don't want to put your business out there too much, especially if there's people you don't trust.
Yeah.
It's
But
crazy.
I mean,
What other trust issues can it be in? Let's talk about trust issues in a relationship.
dun dun dun.
I think that's the biggest place where they fuck up
This is gonna be the
relationships.
juiciest
That's
segment.
where it could either make or break, huh?
Yeah, because if you're not allowing your partner to experience your full self because of the trust issues you have, so you're not willing to be vulnerable with them, then it's just they're not getting the full version of you, so they're not gonna feel connected as much as they could have.
Ooh, I saw this. Where's this? Hold on. I saw this quote.
I think there's just so many underlying factors when it comes to trust issues in relationships, but not necessarily in relationships. I think before the relationship starts.
Yeah.
Because we've said it a million times on this podcast that we should really really focus on ourselves before we jump into a relationship, because one thing, my biggest pet peeve is when people go into a relationship with trust issues, because it's the most annoying fucking thing. Because there's no way anybody should walk into a relationship saying that, oh well, I need to keep my guard up because you're a man, or no, shut the fuck up. Like, you just need to like spend a year by yourself, figure out what you got to do, like mentally get yourself checked, and then jump in.
You don't think keeping your guard up is a good thing?
No,
For real?
for real.
I believe
mean,
I believe in red flags, but I don't believe that you should have your guard up.
I don't think I'm like
That's a
an
good point,
authority
though.
to speak on relationships, but like, how can you really experience a genuine connection if you have your guard up the whole time?
Exactly.
If you
Facts.
have your guard down, you can get hurt. I'm not saying you won't,
Right.
but at least you kept it 100 the whole time, and then if you get hurt, then that's on them. So you're like, you didn't fuck up because you kept it real. Like, if you did
Facts.
something
It
grimy,
wasn't you.
that's on you. But if
Yeah.
you didn't, you had good intentions from the start, you kept it real, you didn't lie, you didn't fucking cheat, you didn't do whatever, and they still fuck on you, that's on them. And then when
Yeah.
if and when it ends, then you're like, all
I
right,
like
fuck
that.
it.
Very, very great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, again, you got to check yourself mentally, because that's really what it boils down to. Um, I don't know. It's just like, to me, I really can't walk into a relationship and be like, oh yeah, like I'm ready
You
to
can't
deal with
walk
all
into
your
any relationship.
insecurities. Like,
Nah.
I'm ready to take on all your insecurities. Like, 'cause if a female came to my life and it says, well, whoa, I can't do this yet because my past relationships did this. Well, that's your past. That's not now.
Yeah.
That's not who I am. I'm a whole different person. As a matter of fact, I'm a whole different breed, bitch. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm not
built
gonna.
different.
I'm built different. I'm 5'5". Like,
Very different. No, I'm just playing.
very different. But no, I think ultimately it's just that some people need to stop saying that. And all the females and that say that all males are the same. No, you just keep looking at the same place. Look somewhere else. And it's just like, to me, it's just like, no, if you really want to find somebody correctly, like, take your time, don't rush it, don't find love. I understand people need love, but if you need love, then you clearly don't need it to be in a relationship, because you need to first love yourself, then branch out. Somebody should be an additive to your life, not a dependent. Yeah. So
Very good point, everyone. Very, very good point. I think trust issues in a relationship are the toughest, though,
mhm.
because it could stem from anything. I mean, like, it could stem from your childhood, from your past relationships, from anything.
Yeah.
And even then, like, that's why it's so hard for people to trust. And like we mentioned, Jafet said, like, it's all about grimy people.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily saying like keeping your guard up is a bad thing or a good thing, but it's
Yeah.
just kind of like you just have to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, you're not gonna get rid of the trust issues. Like, I still have my trust issues, and I'm in a relationship, but like, I don't like necessarily project those onto
Yeah.
the
I think that's
relationship.
important. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about keeping your guard up, because obviously, like, you don't. You're just saying that right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like, shit, like if something were to happen, then so be it. But I don't think it would happen because I took the time to get to know this person.
Facts.
And I think it's important to become friends with someone you're interested in romantically first.
Mm.
Yes.
And like just talk about all the grimy shit you've done too, because like we're not fucking saints, none of us are. So like talk about all the grimy shit, all the shit you've done in the past, and how you're not gonna do that shit if you're ready to not do that shit. And if you're
Yeah.
not ready to stop, then don't date.
Don't fake the funk.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
fake
trust
the
issues
funk.
are just tough, bro. I mean, it's hard to trust people. It's hard to, let yourself be open and shit like that.
Mhm.
Why do you think that is? What
Like,
what makes it the hardest? So, do you think people with trust issues wait to be hurt or wait to be betrayed, or what was that shit we talked about?
I think you said, is that do you assume betrayal or like await betrayal?
Do you assume betrayal? Do you seem like are your trust issues projecting that you're waiting for someone to betray you, or what was that? Assume
Uh,
betrayal or
assume betrayal
assume
or you await
betrayal
betrayal?
or await betrayal? Ooh,
I don't. I.
that's a tough one.
That's a
So, do you
tough
wait for
one.
someone to betray you, or do you expect someone to betray you?
That boy,
Ooh.
I think that's having your guard up.
Yeah.
But I mean,
No.
No. I don't think it is.
well, I mean, if you're assuming someone's gonna betray you, then that means your guard is gonna be up.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say assuming betrayal is kind of like nah, fuck that. I'm not even wasting my time with you type of thing.
Okay, I see where you're
You know what
going.
I'm trying to say? If you're expecting it, then you have your guard up. Does that make sense?
Mm. Me personally, I'm just gonna speak for myself. I'm when I jump. Well, I mean now, but before I didn't. But now, it's like I don't care because I'm gonna meet you where you're at, and
Hmm.
if you fuck up, it's your loss, not
Yeah,
mine.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Because I honestly, again, I'm done with the child games. I
You don't
played
care.
it.
You're not worried about betrayal right now.
Nah, like that. That was so long ago. That was like so last year. No, I'm just kidding.
That was last week, G.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. It took me about 3 years to finally understand that like betrayal is gonna happen whether you expect it or not.
Hmm.
Because I mean, all you can do is when you jump into a relationship is give what you can, and that's it. Because if you expect betrayal and all this other stuff or wait, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, you have no control over it. So you just have to do what you do best, which is you, and then just be happy, go along with it. And if you get fucked over, you get fucked over. Now, again, there's some times where I believe that hey, you should watch out for those red flags, though. Watch out what they do. I mean, that's my opinion. That's
That's a good
different from.
point. Yeah, I
I
like
feel
that.
like that's different from having your guard up because guard up is like you're resisting.
Yeah,
Period.
you don't even want to see those red flags.
Exactly. But a red flag is like, okay, you know what? I can cut this off early. I feel like that's
Yeah,
okay. But I mean, I forgot where I was
I
going with
like
this,
that. No,
but
I fuck with where
It's
you were
a
going.
tough conversation to have because we're like trying to dive into our own psyches and the psyche of others.
What did we say that earlier, Jafet? What were we saying? You're like the trust issues. Fuck. What did you say? We're like,
I said a lot of dumb shit. I
no,
don't know.
no. Before we even started recording, you're like, there are trust issues because of this. Wow, what did you say earlier? Remember?
Or like I was asking you if they're because of childhood
Oh, is it?
traumas
Yeah.
or
Something like,
because of previous relationships gone bad.
yeah. And it's
So
kind of it intertwined with each other. You're just like, or is it just because of that and this and that? Like,
are the
what
relationship
was it?
issues in romantic relationships due to the ones that you picked up through the childhood
Yeah.
trauma?
mm,
Which it could possibly be.
Yeah, it was something crazy. Like we're just tripping. But I think what Edwin was pretty much trying to say, or I mean, how I understood and how everything. I mean, the only thing you can really control is how you react to how you react. Your reaction is the only thing you can really control in
yeah.
aspects when it comes to trust issues.
I think I've shifted into being 100% accountable for every action I take from now. Like
Facts.
not necessarily from today or right now, but I
Hey,
mean
preach that louder because people don't understand that shit.
accountability is like
Yes.
a humongous part
Of everything.
of everything you do because it carries over in professional settings, relationships, friendships, like your fucking fitness,
Because we can call those
diet.
insecurities, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
just being accountable, and it's fucking hard because like you don't have
It ain't
the
easy.
like the discipline. Like at
Facts.
least I didn't. Fuck no, I didn't. I had to learn it. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep it solid, and every action I take, I have to be accountable for, and I can't be like playing victim, because at
Yes.
the end of the day, it's on me.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest message right now is that, again, going back to accountability,
Mm.
is that guys or girls, because there's like 48% of you guys are girls. Um, doesn't matter. Like if you jump into a relationship and you're worried about what he or she's doing at night, what he or she is doing at work, if they are not texting you fast enough, or you feel like the guys or the girls' night out is sketchy, you're only thinking that because that's your head thinking. Like
Facts.
that's just the
That's
most
your
annoying shit.
subconscious.
That's
That's
your
your.
subconscious. Like I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I don't know if it's fucked up to say, but if it didn't happen, then you can't assume that's what is going on.
Yeah.
Even then, I
Like
think
if you don't have any proof, then you can't think those thoughts.
like I relate to this a lot. I mean, I always think about it every time. Like in the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan, sorry,
The movie.
the documentary on the like whatever it was.
Mm.
Um, they asked Michael Jordan like, "Hey, like, do you ever get nervous before taking a shot?" He's like, "Why would I get nervous about something that hasn't happened?" I was
Exactly.
like, "This motherfucker."
The
You know?
future and the past don't
He's
exist.
like, I can't stress something that hasn't happened. He's like, I could stress it after it happened because it happened. He's like, but I can't stress something before.
Yes.
And I was like, I was just like, oh shit, I didn't think about that because a lot of the times we fuck with our own head.
And
Like
I feel like that's why Michael Jordan was so successful in his
his
career,
mindset.
because his mindset was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on what I can control.
Exactly. He said that a lot too. He's like, yeah, that's what
And
I'm
then
saying.
it was kind of one of those things like, if I know enough that, like, okay, I need to care about this and not care about these stupid issues that are not
Yeah,
happening yet.
facts.
And I feel like you can throw that into anything in life, in your personal relationships. You can throw that in your work field. It's like, just focus on you, do what you do best, and if you're good to go, like you're basically mentally checked. You're
Yeah.
good.
I
So
think I think the biggest thing is being able to trust yourself. If you don't
yes.
trust yourself, ain't nobody gonna trust you, and you're not gonna trust anybody
And
else.
if you're not trusting anybody, there's no point in you being in a relationship.
Yeah,
Like dead
Facts.
ass. Like how the fuck are you gonna trust
because
somebody else when you literally can't trust your own fucking self to like not worry about what he or she is doing?
yeah, because
That's my biggest pet peeve.
it
Oh shit.
This is where we
Oh
do
my
a dance.
bad.
yes. So we take a little break.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh.
Technical difficult. But back to where we were at. Sorry for the small little break, but um, trusting yourself ties back to what Jafet says. Like you can't bullshit yourself, and that goes to the accountability issue. Letting yourself feel that trust within yourself. It's just it's tough, but it has to be done. And
Yeah.
me and Jafet actually talked about this the other day. I was telling him, I was like, yo, it's about controlling your mind, trying to control what you can't control.
Yeah.
Overthinking is the death of us. I think that's a lot of the reasons why you have trust issues, because you're like, what is my partner doing? What is this person
Yeah.
doing? What if they're thinking this? What if they're thinking that? What if they do this? What if they do that? I'm like,
Overthinking is probably the biggest thing. I think we should probably tackle that shit next time.
yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, why don't we tackle it now? Because I mean, we kind
Yeah,
of
it ties back
discussed.
to the trust issues too, though.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking about trust issues at work. We're talking about trust issues in our relationships. So how can we tackle these issues, and how can we actually help moving forward? So for the viewers, what are some things that we can do? Like what's some
honestly,
advice that we can give? The
for,
best to our knowledge.
forgive yourself for what the fuck stupid shit you've done already,
Yes.
for what the fuck stupid shit you've been through, and all the stupid shit you put yourself through, because it's tough, and you have to start. I remember my therapist said one time, she was like, "You have to forgive yourself." She's like, "People in prison don't punish themselves as hard as you do."
Shit.
And I was just kind of like, damn, that's
Okay.
facts. I'm like, oh shit, preach, and it's true. Trusting yourself and believing in yourself, having that self accountability. It's tough, but I mean, it's all part of the
You gotta
process.
do it.
Yeah, because you
I,
can't do it, then there's no changing.
one thing that I forgot, it was some it's some financial freedom like advisor that I follow. His name is Kong. He does like wholesaling, real estate or
Yeah,
whatever. And then he made a joke. I wouldn't say a joke because it kind of ties into like trust in life or whatever. And then one thing that we've always preached, and I think our very first episode we talk about like what it takes to be a man. It's like preparation.
Mm.
So I think that's one of the most important things that people like when it comes to trust issues is always prepare. And by prepare, like if you really want to have those thoughts diminish and not really have those thoughts too much, one is obviously to have a good mental check. Make sure you're sane. Make sure you're good to go.
Mhm.
Second is like if you really, really still have those things in the back of your mind, is really check who you're dating. Like
Yeah, what's
really,
triggering those thoughts?
what are triggering those? What are triggering those thoughts? Like if you're constantly upset about a man always going to the club, or if you don't like that, then stop dating the fucking man that goes to the club. Like it's that simple. And I think going back to what I was saying about that financial advisor, he was saying, he goes, one thing that you should do to check if that person's good to go is check their credit score. And I
Fucking
was
right.
like, what the fuck? And then he goes, no, for real, check their credit
I
score.
think he said
If
something
it's
like that
above
too.
like 700 or something like that, he says he's good with money. So then that means he's like, not necessarily that money makes you a good man. It's just that you obviously know that he's smarter with his money. And like, that's just one thing, obviously. There's
He's
like other
aware. He's
things.
mentally aware.
He's mentally aware, so he's obviously focusing, he's grinding on his work, he's more focused, he's more driven, focus driven on certain
Yeah.
things. So he probably relates that to other stuff, like maybe he goes to the gym as well since he is financially ready because he has that discipline.
Mhm.
So things like that, you want to find, you want to
Little
find those
little
qualities
details.
in a
Yeah.
person, because if you're gonna be dating somebody who they lives paycheck to paycheck, then like obviously he's not financially ready. So if he's not financially ready, he can't take care of you.
Mm.
So it's like, why
Right.
are you gonna carry most of that weight in the relationship? No, go date a man. Stop dating a boy.
Damn.
And that just goes for everybody. Like girls, everything.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Stay hard.
Stay hard by David
David
Goggins.
Goggins. What about you, Jafet?
Viagra.
Viagra.
I think addressing your insecurities
Yes.
with whoever it is that you're having these issues with, just straight up be like, I have these insecurities. Asking tough questions about shit you're insecure about. Stop like, I get it. You don't want to ask certain questions because it might be like, I guess, awkward. But if you don't ask certain questions or like straight up say, I'm insecure about these things you do, can you like talk to me about it?
How can we
And
work
talk,
through it?
not change. Yeah.
Yeah, just addressing shit you're insecure about and asking questions when you're insecure, being like straight up about shit. Like, hey, like I'm gonna hang out with this friend. Is it okay with you? Do you feel like this way? Like, or
What's
you're
going on?
doing, yeah, you're going to this place and you like lose like communication with me whenever you go here, and
Why?
then why are you seeing these people, this person? Um,
I think
just
to add on to what
yeah.
you're saying, because that's perfect, is that hopefully these conversations are happening before you guys are together.
Yeah, or even
Because
Well,
if
it has
you
to be when they're dating, I feel, because that's
in the
when you
dating
get,
phase,
yeah.
me personally, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship then ask those questions. I would want to ask those questions before, because if you're asking them during, it's kind of too late.
Well, even
I
then,
don't think
like,
they ever stop though.
they don't. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Like,
but
I was about to say that because it's like in a relationship, that's when you get more comfortable to quote point shit out like that.
yeah,
Because if you're dating someone, just talking to someone that says, "Hey, I don't like you," like what, like Jafet said, I don't like when you lose communication when you're out doing this or when you're out with this person. It's
yeah.
like a girl's not gonna want, like, you can't control me, you can't tell me what to do type of thing, or vice versa. A guy's like, why is she tripping on me already? We're
Yeah.
nothing.
And
But see, that's the
yeah,
point.
like it might
Go
be her tripping, or it might just be her like having certain like previous issues,
Yeah,
like maybe she just
previous
needs
trust issues.
yeah, or like reassurance issues,
Yeah,
or because
facts.
a lot of people have abandonment issues too. So it's kind of like just putting yourself out in the open and like accommodate. If you really care about this person, you'll accommodate to like
Facts.
right.
their insecurities and shit, and making them know that you're
You'll,
not gonna do something,
you'll
and
comprehend.
then
Mhm.
eventually they'll start like easing up, and then like they'll have that trust with you, so kind of like
Yeah.
Facts.
healing those previous issues, because that shit that's
It's a
possible.
bitch. It's a bitch too.
Yeah,
But I mean, together you guys can work through them.
yeah, if
Right.
you
No lie.
actually care about taking the right actions to like heal, you'll do it, but
Yeah,
it's gonna take effort and time, and a lot of people don't want to put that in.
that's the thing. I mean, I mean, not to go against Edwin, but I feel like that happens throughout the whole relationship,
Yeah,
from dating to start getting to know him to all that. You
it's
know.
a never ending process. It doesn't just magically one day you're like, all right, we have the perfect relationship, and
Yeah.
from
No,
now
of
on it's
course.
all like fun and games. No, it's a constant. it's a constant thing.
Yeah, I strongly believe what you said because I believe compromising is key. It's important,
Oh no, of course,
but
yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily the only answer because I feel like again going back to like just the preparation stage, make sure you're mentally checked. Because if it's like small things like hey what like from like my girlfriend, she has a constant thing of like telling me oh I'm leaving home oh I'm at work. Granted, I don't care about these things because it's like because I mean her ex boyfriend used to constantly tell her, "Hey,
yeah.
tell me when you're out. Tell me when your Uber's there. Tell me when your Uber left you off. Tell me when you enter the door." Like almost her whole steps.
Mm.
But I'm not that person. Leave me the fuck alone. Like it's just like leave me alone.
Fucking dumb.
Like as long as I know you're safe. Like the only times I would ask her to text me is she's going out without me with like her girls. I'm like, look, just let me know if you're there safe. That's all, and let me know when you're coming back. So just so I know that everything is good, because at the end of the day, she is my girlfriend. Like I do care, I do care,
And she's a
and
woman living in a
she's a
dangerous
woman,
ass place.
right? And exactly. So that's just the only minimum requirement. But I'm not like, hey, like, are you on your third drink right now? Are you on your second drink right now? Like, no.
But I mean, I don't necessarily look. I feel like what you're saying right now. I mean, I could be. I'm more than sure, probably wrong, but I feel like what she's just doing, I don't feel like you're compromising. I feel like she's just checking in with you.
Yeah, and like I said,
You
it's
know,
like, but I let her know that it's not necessary. Like she doesn't have to because like I'm like, look, I trust you. I know that you're not gonna do anything stupid. And if you do, that's your fault.
but
But ultimately, she's just doing it because she's caring. She's caring.
that's
She
what I'm
wants to
saying.
do that.
Like
Yeah,
you don't care, but
yeah,
she cares enough to tell you, like, hey, I'm good.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here. So you just have to see it like that. I don't.
So
I don't feel like you should tell her you don't care.
no, I'm
You
not
know,
saying I don't care, but that's what I mean.
it's not a necessity for you, but it might be for her.
Right, but
You know,
that's what I mean. It's like that's why I compromise. Where I just tell her, look, if you're gonna text me very minimally. Like because she had that constant thing of like letting me know of
every
everything
detail.
she was
Yeah.
doing. I said, look, I'm one not to text at all. She does all the texting, I do nothing at all. But since we're gonna compromise, I'm like, look, this just do the bare minimum, just so we're both in the middle of the place. That's
Yeah.
what I mean
As
about
long as you guys
compromising.
find that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that to compromise, like, hey, like we're jumping into the relationship, we should start doing this. Like, no, 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 no. Like
I fuck
compromising
with that.
goes to an extent. It's just like
Yeah.
really meet in the middle ground. So this is
Yeah.
why, like, I don't. This is why, like, I know that's all her, but I'm just like, look, it's not necessary. But if you're gonna do it, please do the minimum. That's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, people used to say communication is key, but it's not. Comprehension is key
Yes,
That's a good
because
one.
you have
ultimately,
to. If you could talk all the shit you want, but if you're not understanding and comprehending it, you're not gonna get anywhere.
that's
It's
that's it.
just two what is it? Two people playing ping pong with words instead of
Yeah.
actually like in a conversation.
Instead of playing catch.
That's a
Yeah.
good analogy.
Ooh. Oh damn, dude. That's a good one, dude.
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
I have a question for you guys though.
Yeah.
That was way too funny.
This motherfucker. Go ahead. Let it out, Babush.
I'm laughing too hard for that. I'm sorry.
Hey, he hypes up my little stupid shit. I like that.
I have a question to
Sorry.
ask you guys.
Yeah.
Right before we cut it out. I mean, is there anything else we want to add? I think that's about it. No.
I mean, I just need a
I mean,
cheeseburger.
because trust issues are fucking. They could go on forever,
Yes.
and we don't want to make this too long or anything like that. But I have a question
love
for
you
you
a long
guys.
time.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's this person that picks my brain a lot, and I fuck with that shit heavy. But
Tell me who it is.
nah, I'll kill you before anything else.
Good.
It's all jokes here.
Would you rather do things right or do the right thing?
Hmm?
All right, say it again slow because my mind is not
It's early.
comprehending.
Would you rather do the right thing or do things right?
Not the same thing.
I know I was about to
Just
say like the
plural?
same shit.
Yeah, listen to it.
All
Would
right,
you rather do the
say
right
one
thing?
part. Okay, stop right there. Would you rather do the right thing? Okay, I'm thinking something I'm doing right. The right thing. Okay, go
What
ahead.
is doing the right thing for you?
Doing the right thing?
Like following the speed limit, right? Which is like 65, right? Or would you
Sure.
rather do things right, which is go at the speed of traffic?
Is that a trick question?
I'm asking you a question. Would you rather do the right thing or would you rather do things right?
I'd rather obey the fucking law. Do what I gotta do.
Mm.
I don't know.
So you would not steal even if you were starving, like food?
No, not at all. I don't believe in that. I believe in working hard. I believe in stop. Like I believe, like even
So
if I was
what
a
would
homeless,
you say, Edwin? Or what would be your answer to that question? Would you do things right or would you do the right thing?
I would rather do. Fuck, I don't even know how to answer. That's it's almost like the wording is the same, huh?
I feel like I'm getting interrogated by the feds right now.
I know. I mean, I have the answer, but it's just the question or the answers are
The
kind of
way you
similar.
think. No?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
what
don't
do you
know.
guys say?
All I'm gonna say is that if I was homeless, I would not steal. I would actually go buy a bottle at the 99-cent store,
have no
get a
money.
You're
Windex,
homeless. You
and
have no
start
money.
cleaning windows. I'll beg for the money for like 2 days. After that, I'll go to the 99-cent store, go buy a Windex and a cleaning towel. Ask somebody if I can clean your window for $1. Clean 100 windows a day.
Because doing the right thing will be like going to church, not sinning, doing all that, and doing things right will be following it spiritually. You
Which
know?
I don't think a lot of people
I-
do,
that's
but
what
that's
I'm
just
saying,
me
but that's-
talking
that's
shit.
That's
my
a whole different
question.
conversation. But let's go ahead and close this out, Jesse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these fools couldn't answer the question, so you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys think.
I'd rather just plead the fifth on that shit for real. Because
It's a good question, though, huh?
No.
yeah,
It's a very confusing question.
The question of
Yeah,
morality
likewise.
has plagued us for many.
It's very
many
subjective,
It's
I'll just
kind
say
of
that.
integrity,
Eons.
ethics, shit like that. But it's
Sure.
a good question because it
It's a
kind of
great
makes
question.
you think. So shout out to that person. These fools couldn't answer it, so
Hey,
we could talk about it more.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Take care. Se la lavan. If nobody loves you, JG loves you. These mics
Everyone
are running out
loves
of battery.
I like it too.
We're going to be back real soon, so stay up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Do whatever you got to do to show us love. Thank you. We'll be back soon. Late.